Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for your patience. We love technology. That is our positive affirmation for the night, okay? We love technology. It is what it is. We are mompreneurs. We roll. We get it done. So thank you so much for being patient. I have the fabulous Miss Dominique Clark here on Let's Chat with Tanya Barnett's show. I'm very excited to have her here. She is fantastic. She is my girl. And so thank you for joining, Miss Dominique. You still there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, hey.
Hey.
So I saw that we are live on Facebook.
Okay, awesome. Cool. And I'm trying to see it. I don't see it yet on my phone, but it's all good.
Yeah,
okay, there we go. Yay! Yay, happy Carla Friday. Just shared it. Thank you, Carla.
Hey,
Woo!
Right?
Look, Dominic is over there drinking a Capri Sun, okay?
I am. I wish it was something a little stronger, but listen, desperate times calls for desperate measures.
So I'm very excited. Thank you so much for saying yes to being here with me tonight. And we worked through this thing, so we are here, and that means that somebody needs to hear what we are sharing tonight. So I'm very excited about that. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Dominique.
Yes, so I am a certified matchmaker and relationship coach. I'm an author, and most importantly, I'm a mommy and a wife. That's the proudest badge that I wear. But yeah, every day I work with amazing singles, and I help them pretty much strategize their love lives and help them reach their relationship goals. And so that's either through personal matchmaking, that is through date coaching and image consulting. And so I have an amazing team of people that help me help these amazing singles who have, climbed the corporate ladder. They've gotten their career, they've gotten success there, and now they're just ready to find someone to share their life with.
Oh, wow. I love it. So you're kind of like the people that we see on TV, like Hitch with Will Smith. And
yeah. They have called me the female Hitch, so I said I'll take that.
Wow. And I saw on your social media, I think it was right before the weekend, that you had another great match. So
I did. Listen, we are always excited about that. I'm always excited for people who decide to date on purpose, be intentional, be open to this process of meeting someone new, and then just being intentional and making it work. And so it's always rewarding. It's fantastic. And I'm excited and just honored that people trust me in such a big area and helping them make quality decisions in their love lives. So, yeah.
Awesome. So let me ask you something, because I don't know about the matchmaking world. So how do you know if they're good fit? I mean, what is the process for some of our single women who are on here? I know we have some mompreneurs who are single moms who, are saying, hey, I'm ready to get back into finding Mr. Right, or Mr. Right finding me. What are the steps that they take when they reach out to Say You?
Yeah, so the first step that I take in my agency is a consultation. And so I'm sitting down with you for an hour and 45 minutes. I mean, it really helps me paint the canvas, understand who you are, your motives, your ambition, your drive. It helps me understand about your relationship and dating history, your current relationship challenges or dating challenges, and then most importantly, where you like to see yourself in the future and what that looks like. And so we start with a consultation, and from there, I'm able to say, and we do this together because I believe it's a partnership. And helping you find someone in your life. But we sit down and we collaborate together in figuring out what's the next best step. And that best step could be through matchmaking, that could be through coaching, that could be through image consulting. And if they choose matchmaking, then for me, what I'm looking for, like I said, is what is motivating this person? What are their core values? And how do they envision their lives in the future? And who's going to help them succeed in that? And who'd be the best match in making that vision make sense? And so that's where I start. And then we go into all the other details that everybody is, pressed on, whether it's looks, what are you attracted to physically, financial status, religion, all that other stuff that may be important to someone. And so we kind of go through all of that and see where they are there, and really just chiseling at their criteria, making sure that it makes sense and making sure that it's realistic. And most importantly, making sure that it's something that I feel like I can work with and that I have access to someone that actually meets that criteria in my database or network.
Wow. That is amazing, because I know that I've talked to several single women who had lists. and so what do you do with someone who comes in and says he has to have all of this or she has to have all of this? Is that realistic, or do you help convince them, hey, let's, think about this, or do you strictly go off of what their list is?
Yeah, so if someone comes to me with an extensive list, if it makes sense and it's realistic, then I'm all for it. Because you could have someone who's a mom and, it's not just dating them, they're a package deal. So they may have some additional criteria that's important to them as a parent before they bring someone into that space. But some people are really unrealistic, and it kind of drives me insane, if I can have a transparent moment. And we have to get rid of the list. We have to get rid of it. And we start from scratch, and I have them think of 3 things that are absolutely must have. You got to have it. No ifs, ands, or buts. And then we work from there, because for me, I need you to start looking at what's most important to your life, who someone is, their character, the quality of guy or woman that it is, and what value they can bring to your life. That's important. Those things are what help a relationship, last long term. But the height, X amount of dollars in the bank account, what he's driving, what he can give you in terms of physical things and all that stuff doesn't really matter. So we knock down that stuff really quickly. And then even to take it a step further, if someone has a list, and I think that the list actually makes sense, I have them create some meat around that list. So create a story. Almost like you're writing a letter to your future husband is what I have the women do. Because words don't mean anything, right? What does that mean? You want someone to be able to visualize themselves in your life, and building a life with you and being in a relationship with you. And sometimes when you are just kind of boxing yourself down to a list, it doesn't really give you the fullness of the type of relationship that you want to experience, or allow someone else to understand the type of relationship that you want to experience.
Awesome.
So
hey, Roz, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Roz. Really quick side note, if you're just now joining us on Facebook Live, or you're catching us on the replay on YouTube, make sure you share this out. There may be someone who is looking for love in all the right places. We want them to reach out to my girlfriend, Dominique Clark. She is a fantastic heart. She is patient. She is gentle. So definitely make sure you share this out. And also, she's a mompreneur, just like you and I. So make sure you share. Hey, there's my girl. That's my other girl right there. So make sure you share this out. There may be someone out there that they're like, oh my gosh, my cousin has been looking, but she's shy, or, male cousin or whatever, and have them, reach out to Dominique. I just think what she does is great, because a lot of people are sometimes too busy to go out dating and things of that nature. And so here she is. She's a modern day matchmaker. I think it's sexy.
Yes, it is sexy.
I would be nervous. I'd be like, girl, you better go out on that date.
Well, listen, that's a lot of the conversation that we're having. Because a lot of people, they, and I think it's out of fear, people fear rejection, they fear not being enough, they fear, and so they have created this comfort zone around them. And I think a lot of the times their criteria is based around that comfort zone. And so a lot of times I'm pulling them out of that. I'm trying to help them, change their perspective and see dating through a positive lens and be open. Because a lot of times, and we know this is not anything that haven't heard before, but love often comes in a different package than what we anticipated. And when you allow yourself to be open, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable and experience something new, a lot of times you find that it's a pleasant experience. You know what I mean? And you're pleasantly surprised. And so that has been the key to my success. is getting my clients to realize, hey, there's something out there for you that may look different. If you take a chance, and allow yourself to be open to this type of experience and meeting someone, and actually really learning something new about yourself in the process, then 9 times out of 10, you'll find that you'll be successful. And I found that with my clients, when they decide to trust me in the process, it works.
Awesome. Well, I think it's fantastic what you're doing, because you're helping create relationships that are long lasting, that can lead to marriage. And then we're talking about healthy children and a healthy environment. And it just perpetuates just having great communities of loving couples that, raising great kids. So talking about kids, you're a mommy. Now, are you a stay-at-home mom and you work around your kids? I know I've had several moms that's what they do, and then I have other moms where they work outside their home. So what is your typical day like?
So to be honest, I have my baby 2 days a week at home with me. She is 1.5. She's a little older than 1.5. She'll be 2 in July. And the other days of the week, they're both at school. So on those 2 days, I'm still navigating through mommy duties and maybe answering an email every now and then. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, I'm working from home, or one of my favorite places like a Starbucks or something like that, where I can kind of change my environment and, get a different scenery. Mm-hmm. I'm hitting the pavement, and I'm recruiting, I'm coaching, and I'm helping these amazing singles that I get to work with every day.
Awesome. Yeah. So let me ask you this, because you look fairly young. Are a lot of your clients young, middle age, older, say maybe in their 50s, divorced, looking, for something new? What is your client base?
So believe it or not, all of my clients are older than me. They're all older than me. They range between 35 and 50. Mm-hmm. I get a few that are younger and older every now and then, and I'll work with them depending on, what they present and if I feel like I can help them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, all of them are older than me, 35 to 50. Some of them, like you said, are divorced and ready to get back out into the dating scene. Some are people who've just really invested all of their time into developing their career. And so now they're like, I'm ready for love, but I don't know how to do it, go about doing it, or where to meet people. And so they'll hire me. And then I have people who they've been in and out of relationships, they've dated, and it may more so be a messaging issue, and there's some fine tuning of things that they need to do on the inside. And so we help them with that. And, I always say this, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, you are a brand, and you have to be cognizant of what that brand is sending out in terms of the message, because if it's not sending out the right message, you're not going to attract the right people. And so sometimes we work on that. And it's just building confidence, understanding your worth, owning all of who you are and not being afraid to share that with someone else. And so, yeah.
Wow. So with all that you have going on, how do you find time to spend time with your girls?
I'll be honest with you, my girlfriends are missing me. And it's not even just business, it's just being a wife and being a mom and being so committed to those areas of my life. It takes up so much of my time. And so we try to do like quarterly, we'll get together and maybe do a girls trip. But anytime there's a birthday or some sort of a special event, a graduation, we all make a point to be there. But most of the time it's like quarterly, we try to get together and see each other. We all live in different areas. Most of my girlfriends are in the DMV area. I'm in North Carolina. I have some in Atlanta. So us getting together requires all of us to travel.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, and that's my core group. But then around here where I'm at in Charlotte, I'll spend girl time with family members, and things like that. Or just hang out by myself and go.
Okay. For your own personal self-care. That's what I was going to ask you. What do you think you do for your own care?
So I'll find myself doing anything from a massage to, I love the water. So if there's water nearby, I am heading to the beach just to unwind and kind of just escape for a little bit. And sometimes it's just as little as, honey, I need you to take the kids for a few hours. I'm going to sit home and do nothing, read, watch a movie or whatever. I just need no one here. And so I just need you guys to go, and, he'll give me that time. And so it's really honestly what I can get myself into at the moment, depending on the circumstance. And then I just allow myself to escape in whatever that is.
Wow. So what is one major obstacle that you had to personally overcome to be the woman that you are today?
So I am was a huge people pleaser.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, really, yes. My gosh. And so a lot of what I did was for someone else, whether it was for mom or for sister or for husband or for, my children. I put everyone else before me because I just wanted them to be happy with me and what I was doing and who I was to them and things like that. And I forgot about myself. And because of that, it prolonged me pursuing my career, something that I felt like God had put in my heart, but I was fighting him for it because mom wanted me to be a doctor,
Wow.
And then I had a kid who, I had a child when I was 26, my first daughter at 26, and I was pursuing school and other things, and it was like, okay, either you...
Uh-oh. We are frozen. Dominique, you're frozen. Uh-oh. Let me see. You are frozen. Let me see if you can come back, if you can jump out and jump back in. Dominique. Let me see if she can. I'm going to shoot her a text. Hey, Kim. Dominique will be right back. It looks like she froze and she'll be right back. So I have on today's MOMpreneur series interview tonight, my last beautiful MOMpreneur is none other than Dominique Clark. She is a matchmaker and a relationship coach. It's okay. We're going to be great regardless. We had a late start because of technology, but it's okay. We are going to continue on because we're mompreneurs and we just don't quit and we keep on going. And she looks like she's trying to jump on. So I'm going to shoot her a text while we're still on here because that's what we do in real life. There are no, there is no editing here when you're live. And I appreciate everyone for their patience these last couple of weeks. I'm just really excited about what we have going on and all the moms who have joined this. I have moms that'll be joining us for the next quarter, which will be third quarter. So I'm very excited about that. I have a lot of people reaching out. We are moving forward. We are featuring lots of mompreneurs. If you go on my blog, realwifemovement.com, you'll see a lot of moms on there, such as Ronnie Tyler, Black and Married with Kids. You'll see Richie Holmes Grant. She is Bambini Wear. You'll also see Dr. Stacy Edie. She is a pediatrician in Baltimore, as well as several other people. Justice Berge. I'll have her bio up within the next couple of days. And I have several other women that you all will be so impressed with and what they have to share and support into us. And so far, we've had some fantastic women. Earlier today, I had Laura Akinsanya, Runway Moms with a Cause. She was fantastic. She actually has a fashion show this Saturday I'll be at. Very excited about that. In this fashion show, most of the proceeds from the fashion show go directly to a nonprofit. The nonprofit this go around is a nonprofit that takes medicine and doctors into Africa. So it looks like there she goes. Hey. So I was hyping you up. Yes. I told Kim we will not be defeated by technology.
No.
Okay.
No. Gosh.
It is okay. So she is back. We didn't go anywhere because we knew you had some nuggets to share with us. So moving right along with you were talking about being a people pleaser and trying to please other people and not yourself.
Yeah, and so it really took a lot for me to say, you know what? I have some stuff that I need to do. You know what I mean? And it's going to require me hurting some feelings, maybe disappointing a few people at first. And I had to be okay with that. And then once they saw me really passionate and soaring in the things that I'm doing now, it makes sense to them. And, one of those people was my mom. She I remember crying to her. I was pregnant with my first child, and I said, listen, I am not going to be a doctor. I know that you invested years, and, I had internships, and I had a degree in biology, and I was working at Duke University and prep to become a doctor. And God just was telling me, that's not it. I want you to help, but the skills and abilities that I have given you will not be used in the four walls that you are. You are bigger than your desk. I remember that for sure. You are bigger than your desk. And it's not until you leave this desk that you'll really be able to tap into all that I have for you. And so sometimes you have to be willing to listen to God and what he said to you, even if it doesn't make sense to someone else, even if they don't get it. I mean, can you imagine when I tell my mom or anybody else that, hey, I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm going to leave these good benefits. I'm going to leave, this good paying job, and I'm going to help people in relationships. You know what I mean? And I'm married and I have a kid on the way. You know what I mean? So it didn't make sense, but I'm so glad that I did that. And I'm so glad that my family and friends are able to see me now and the impact that I'm having now in this space. And just how proud they are of me for not listening to them and not being afraid to step out there and step out on faith and really just pursue the things that I felt like God had called me to do.
Wow. That is girl, I think you're the first person to say you have walked away. So heavy. I mean, that is tough to follow your heart. And I applaud you for that, because I know what it's like to be a people pleaser. I said I was queen of people pleaser land.
Yes.
I just could not, I felt powerless to say no to other people, and I put other people before me and my happiness. And once I decided, that I just couldn't do that anymore, doors open for me, actually. And I was able to be in the space that I'm in today, and being able to be impacted and learn from women like you and the other mompreneurs who have been on here, because I said no to a federal government job. I quit a job, and people were like, oh my God, that's a government job. You know how long it takes? I said, it took me about 2 years to get this position. So I know how hard it is to get into the government, but I just couldn't do it. Within a week, I gave my boss my notice, and I was like, deuces, I'm about to go substitute teach. And that's what I did. Substitute teaching, making $89 maybe today, may not have any work for the next 2 days, but I had to follow my heart and my passion, which was giving people.
You know what that speaks to? It speaks to your support system, because I don't think either one of us could do what we're doing without the support of our husbands. Right. Because they also had to be in agreement with us stepping away from these jobs and these careers, because we were contributing to the household financially.
Absolutely.
So my husband had to be, I don't want to say he had to be, he chose to be okay with carrying that weight until I got my feet going and, was able to really build and generate a consistent income. But I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful that he also believed, and that one time did he question what I said. He was not. He was the only one that said, go do it, baby. You got this, And so I was happy for that. And I'm still thankful for it, because it's an amazing support system.
Absolutely.
And yes, Monet, thank God for a good husband.
Right. And it really makes a difference, because at the end of the day, like my husband always says to me, he's like, babe, those bills are our bills. Why are you tripping off of your mama or what other people saying? I've had people say, when are you going to get a real job? To this day, and I haven't worked a quote unquote real job since 2013, but my husband has been supportive, and I substitute teach when I do long-term subbing. So if I don't want to do a contract after 60 days, I don't have to do it. It's, it's a choice. But, I just think it's really important to have that support system. Yeah. And as women, when our husbands see that our hearts are in it, I think it's just easier for them to support. My husband has said numerous times, if he needed to get a second job, just I'm pursuing my dreams, and that's what he would do,
Yeah. And then we talk about us being moms, also considering our kids. There are a lot of sacrifices that I had to make as a mom. And even though my kids are very young, there is still a certain level of understanding that they have. Even right now, they're downstairs with dad, really they should be in the bed, but they're downstairs with me. And I just looked at the clock, it's 9:30. But they're downstairs with dad, enjoying him and waiting for me, because they're like, okay, mom, I know when mommy's done, she's going to come tuck me in and she's going to, whatever. But that they also make a sacrifice, and they're also, they also have to be a part of being okay with it. And then my responsibility is just making up for that too. The time that I take away, I try to make sure I put that back, whether we're doing something, I'm spending, some extra, alone time with either of them. We plan something fun and special, but, everybody has to be on board in your home, and making this work. And it has been a blessing, and I'm really thankful for it.
That's great. That's great. And I mean, my teenagers, they understand. They're like, okay, Mom, how many interviews you got tonight? And so, and it's so funny. They'll say, oh, mom's not doing an interview right now. Go ahead and put the dishwasher on. And it's so funny, because now they're used to this system, this process, and they see the value in it, because then it frees me up to be available for them. Yeah. And so I think it's just a beautiful thing. Hey, Sean.
Even one more thing. When I go and speak, or there's something that I can bring my kids to, I always make sure that they're there. When I gave I had my first big speaking engagement, I was the keynote at North Carolina Central University for their annual Women's Symposium. And I'll never forget, I was so excited about that thing. They were the first people that really paid me real money to come and speak. And I had my mom there, but most importantly, I had my daughter watching me at the back. And she was so proud. And I know that it's something now that she's like, I can do that. You know what I mean? Look at my mom. Look at what she's doing. I can go out there and pursue my dreams,
Right.
And so I'm happy that she gets to see me and the things that I'm doing. And I'm hoping that it inspires her, to fearlessly, go after whatever God has placed on her heart to do.
Absolutely. And I think that's so key, because our daughters are watching us. I know there's several moms on here. Shantae, she has Cocoa Pie clothing, and her daughters have shirts that have "There's power in these puffs."
Yes.
And we have Rosalind on here, and we have Monet. So a lot of us have daughters that are watching us. And I think that's so key. I mean, even me as a blogger, I take my daughter with me to a lot of events that she's able to go to. So she goes to fashion shows, and she's like writing down all the designers that come out, and she takes pictures so I don't forget. And so now her expectation is every time Mom has an event, Mommy, am I going to? And so I always, believe it or not, I always negotiate that in. I'm like, hey, can I do a +1? And whenever they say I can do a +1, I take her with me.
That's awesome.
If it's a place where she can't go, then of course my husband goes as my +1. But I want her to see that there's, like you said, it's not just your desk. There's a side of the box that you can do. And she's enjoying, meeting Miss District Curvy District, where they have plus size models and, all these things these experiences that she wouldn't normally have if I worked a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So, wow. So talking about the honeys, how do you find time for you and your honey?
Now, let me tell you something. That is something we always prioritize. One of the things that my husband and I are really big on is connecting with each other. And, people don't believe in schedules, but we do, because he knows that I'm really busy, and, he's busy in his career, and we're managing the kids and all of that stuff. We both have extracurricular stuff. So we make a point to connect with each other. When I wake up when I'm leaving the house in the morning, or before, when he comes home at night, we're kissing, or we hug, or we embrace each other. We'll send messages throughout the day just to let each other know that we're thinking about each other. And I'm honestly being honest with you. This is not made up. I don't want to sound like, but this is something that we really had to start doing in our relationship, because we are busy and we don't want each other to feel like we've forgotten about each other. We want to stay connected and always communicating with each other. And so we have date nights. Grandma's around the corner. So we drop the kids off at grandma's. And sometimes date night is out, and sometimes date night is in the house, where it's just our alone time, just kid free. And sometimes even if it's just for an hour that we stay up extra at night just to say, how was your day? Because when we get home, of course, we're in parent mode and we're dinner, bed, and then most of the time, by that time, we're tired and ready to fall out. And so sometimes that just means us staying up a little bit later just to make sure that we connect. But I think it's really important that with all the things that are going on in our lives and in the world and things like that, that you make a point to consistently connect with one another, checking in with one another, and just letting each other know that, hey, I love you. I hope you're having a good day, embracing each other, making a point to have that physical contact. And so that's what we do.
That is fantastic. And I thought about the Joe song when he talks about drop the kids off at your mama's house, and it's like, we don't have to go anywhere, just drop the kids off. And so that's just great. I know for Don and I, especially having teenagers in the house, especially finding that intimate time, we have to be very, very creative because they stay up late now. I'm like, so it's like, so we try to find ways to be creative. So there's sometimes where I shoot down to the man cave because we know they're upstairs watching TV.
That's right.
And so I think it's really important for women to be creative because for men, it don't take nothing. They need to know, okay, that's the signal. Okay, it's time,
Yeah. And also be open to the fact that it may not always be, let's cut the lights down, cut on a little Luther and the candles and all that. Sometimes, like you said, you just have to close that bathroom door. Right. 5 minutes away and then you go out. But, you have to be open. Yeah.
It's so important. And I know I have been guilty of losing sight of that. And then by the time, when I get up in the morning, my husband's already gone. So I get up at 6 and he's already at work by 6.
Wow.
So he leaves about 4:45. And then by the time I get done with everything that I'm doing, then he's already asleep. And so I had to reel back on that and actually put a timer on myself to say, okay, by 10 o'clock, 10:30, I have to unplug because he's waiting patiently. Granted, he may be watching a basketball game or whatever, but trust and believe that brother is waiting. And so it's just really, if there's any wives on here who are just wondering, how do I manage between being a mompreneur and there's a lot who are working a 9 to 5 and then doing their side hustle when they get off, and then they have either little kids or big kids, and then you factor in church responsibilities or community or civic responsibilities. Some people are in sorority, so you're talking about those type of responsibilities. It's just really important not to lose sight that our husbands need that time.
Yeah.
Because it's the glue that holds everything together. I always say intimacy is another form of communication.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to make sure we make time for that. Because if not, it just opens the door to so much other stuff that we don't even want to talk about. And that's for both of us. I mean, because it could be to a point where we're starting to feel some kind of way, and then our mind and our eyes start drifting other places too. It's not always them. For us, I had an emotional affair for over a year. So, and it was because we had so much going on, and then another guy just availed himself to say how great I was and all this stuff. Then I wasn't getting that from my husband because we were so busy.
Yeah.
He was coaching football. He was coaching soccer. I was doing Girl Scouts. I was doing cheer. And so we just never connected. So someone made himself available, and that's what I listened to. That's what I was craving. Yeah. And so it's just really important, ladies, if you're on here, to just really make sure that you and be candid and be honest. That was one of the things too. I didn't tell my husband what my needs were, and he said to me, "I didn't know you had needs because you're so strong and you're constantly going."
Yeah, and that's so important. I think a lot of times we take for granted that people don't know. Or we take for granted and we think that people know what our needs are, and they don't, and even with my husband and I, we've been together since 16. And so the reason why we are so on it now is because we weren't always this way. And I did expect him to read my mind and know what I needed and when I needed it. And he's like, girl, I don't know you like that. You haven't told me.
Right.
And so, and the same for him, vice versa. And so we had to be open enough or honest enough to just share. And even when things aren't right, to be able to say, you know what, babe, I actually would prefer this over that. And sometimes we don't have those conversations because we don't want to hurt each other. But a lot of times what I tell my clients who are in relationships and they're struggling in that space is that understand the person's intent. If you know their intent is good with you, if you know that they love you and their intention is not to hurt you, what they're saying to you is just, hey, something's missing. Here's what I need. Here's how it can be better. And don't take it offensively, because a lot of times we get offended. I used to get offended, if my husband would say I wasn't necessarily doing something that he wanted me to do or wasn't doing it the way, he wanted me to do it and vice versa. And I would get upset, how dare you? But the reality is, hey, we both have needs and we both should be able to say, hey, this is what I need. And we also have to understand that over time, those needs may shift a little bit.
Right.
Like I said, I'm not the same woman that I was at 16. I have different needs, than I did at 16. And so we had to be open to how we evolved, who we evolved to, and how our needs also evolved as well.
Right. And especially as a couple, you evolve as a couple as well. I know the way Don and I relate to each other now in our 40s is not the way we relate to each other in our 30s or in our 20s, because we got married in our late 20s. So, our relationship has really changed, and he's grown, I've grown in that. And so it's really important, like you said, to be honest, have these conversations, and that way you can move forward when you have these type of conversations with your spouse. So let me ask you something. What is who is one person, or dead or alive, who has inspired you the most?
Wow. Dead or alive, who has inspired me the most? And I always try to not, when someone asks me a question like this, I always try to not say my mom. But it's so hard not to, because she's a single mother who had 2 girls who both had dreams. My sister was in acting and she was Miss Teen North Carolina, and she was like the prissy girl pageant, whatever. I was the athlete and I wanted to do school, and I, had ambitions in a different area. And she worked cleaning jobs. She got up at 4:30 in the morning to go to work, and then came back so that we can get up and dressed in time to be ready for the school bus. Then she worked late hours after we were tucked in at night, made sure we had everything. That type of sacrifice paired with the work ethic that she had was just mind-blowing for me. And she did it all while being an entrepreneur. And
wow.
All being an entrepreneur, when she cleaned, that was her cleaning company, Okay, awesome. Yeah, but when people would call out, she had to be the one to pick up, pick up the work.
Wow.
And so I also, she's inspired me too, because in another way, because when we were younger, I was so embarrassed because we never listened to the radio in the car. We had Joyce Myers playing, Tony Robbins, and I'm so embarrassed, rolling up the window and I'm pulling up the stool, this is so embarrassing, who would listen in the car? But now those things are instilled in me. Being an entrepreneur, being motivated, and having drive and going after the things that I'm passionate about. That is something that I didn't have to try to do. It was in me. So I appreciate her for exposing me to that stuff, and not paying me any mind by being embarrassed by it, and just showing me what it's like to sacrifice for your family, what it's like to work hard for what you really want, and how to really invest and pour into your kids so that they are positioned for success. And so it's got to be mom.
Okay. Hey, your mom sounded, she was a bad mama jamma, so I love it.
She still is.
Mommy was like, look ahead. We want to see Myers in this car.
Exactly. I was like, this is so embarrassing, but yep, that's what she had planned. And I didn't understand it at the time. It didn't make sense to me then, but I appreciate it so much now because it's helped me so much.
Right. And I'm sure it probably motivated her to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, Joyce Myers, you took Tony Robbins, that I'm sure that's what kept her going. And you know, as well as her children, but also, you know, just having that replay constantly. I mean, I know for me, I listen to audiobooks now and it just gets me motivated. So wow.
Well, because there's no break, you know, as a single mother, you're constantly having to be on. It's not like you could say, okay, honey, take the kids. Right. It's like you don't get a break, you know? And so she didn't get a break. And so now she is enjoying life, you know, and the fruits of her labor.
I know that's right.
I want to be like her when I grow up. So she's
I love it. I love it. So how can someone reach you if they're looking for some relationship help, or they have, you know, they're looking to get back into dating, or they have a family member, a girlfriend who they're like, girl, look, I don't know who it is. You need to go see Dominique.
Yeah, so you can find me on my website, which is dclarkandcompany.com, www.dclarkandcompany.com. Yep, right there. On the website, if you're interested, we have a complimentary and confidential service, which is our membership. You can be considered as a potential match for a mate or for one of our male clients or female clients, should we find that you're compatible. So we start there. So on my website, if you go to the membership tab and say you're someone that's like, I just want to try this out and see if this method may work for me and kind of get my feet wet a little bit, that's a good way to do that and meet other people and see if there's enough there to go on a second date. If you're someone who says, you know what, Dominique, I've been out there and I really want more tailored help and more hands-on personalized help, then you would email me at info@dclarkandcompany.com and request a consultation, and we'll go from there. Do the consultation, really assess where you are, giving me a baseline and your needs, and discuss the strategy and next steps that are going to help you towards whatever your relationship goals are, whatever you've identified as your relationship goals. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at dclarkandco. I'm like, where else can they find me? At dclarkandco, I'm always sharing information and tips and things there. You could also follow the She's Valuable page. She's Valuable is a movement that I started to really empower women to not only recognize their personal value, but not be afraid to share it and own all of who they are and realize that, hey, baby, you are magical in every way. You are one of a kind, and you deserve everything that your heart desires. And so I wrote this fantastic book entitled She's Valuable, But Does She Know It? And so that's how the movement started. And so the She's Valuable movement, you can follow that page at she's_valuable on Twitter and Instagram. And I try to just give daily doses of empowerment for women to love, own, and protect all of who they are, and realize that it's from that. This is the foundation of any type of relationship or dating experience. Yes. If you want it to be healthy, you got to know who you are. You got to know your value and what you bring to the table so that you can be a better filter and make quality decisions in the dating space. And so that's really what inspired me to write this book. It has an amazing devotional at the end of it, 30-day devotional to help you snatch back your value and walk in your truth. So yeah, that's how you can find me. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds like something that needs to be in college bookstores. Okay.
Well, I did, and I'm still in the middle of a college tour. We've gone to Temple, North Carolina Central University, UNC Charlotte. We've been to Shaw University. We are this spring, or before the summer ends, we're going to be going to, Hampton University, which is my alma mater. And we have a few other schools on the roster because it's so important to plant those seeds in those young girls as early as possible. With the way culture and society is today, we have got to plant those seeds. And so I've made it my personal mission to go to these college campuses, having these conversations with these young girls and helping them realize that, hey, you are pretty special. And, you need to own all of that. And this is how you should move forward, and using all of that Black girl magic, and anybody else who's not Black, but I'm all for Black girl magic.
I know that's right.
And using that to your advantage, because we all have something uniquely amazing about us that only us can contribute to the world. And you've got to fearlessly own that and be able to do that. Yes, Hampton. Whoop, whoop.
I went to Hampton my freshman year, but I majored in Q parties, so I couldn't go back after that.
I know a little something about that, but I happened to, my mom snatched my edges back and was like, you needed to get it together, girlfriend. So I got it together and I made it
I actually married a Q, so I'm in a perpetual state of freshman year of Hampton University.
So, yeah.
So I'm very excited to be able to share Dominique with you all. Also, we have an event coming up.
Yes.
I'm so excited. So Dominique, you can tell them a little bit about our event. I'm about to put it up in the chat.
So one of the things that I am going to be offering sooner than later is services for aspiring wives and really helping them learn the tools and the keys of being a successful wife, not losing yourself in a marriage, and how do you become a wife before actually saying I do. And so I said, I don't want to do this alone. I know that there's an amazing person out here that specializes in this area for sure. You may know her as the Real Wife Coach. And I said, I really want to partner with someone who shares my same passion and helping wives and aspiring wives. Because I get this question all the time about, how do I manage, being a wife and all the things that I'm doing, and what are some tools and some strategies and tips that I can give them. And so I decided to create something. First is the Art of Being a Wife tour with Miss Tanya Barnett. We're really excited about that.
Yes.
The multi-city tour. And we're going to be giving you guys all of our secrets, and really helping you either become that wife that you really want to be, or make the necessary changes that, you may be blind to in your marriage to help you really be fulfilled, get the sexy back in the bedroom.
Yes, I know what I mean. That.
And all of that good stuff. So we're excited, and I'm excited that Tanya said yes to partnering with me.
So yes, the link for that, for the DC is our kickoff city.
Yes.
The link is bit.ly/uppercase D, uppercase C, so it is sensitive, and then lowercase wife, okay? So DC wife, bit.ly/DC wife. It has to be capitalized D and C.
Yeah.
And that is going to be July 15th here in the Washington, D.C. area. It's going to be at a fantastic art studio, hence the art of being a wife. And I'm super excited because the art studio is owned by a wifepreneur. I'm not sure if Monet is a mom, but it's at Monet Go Sip in the Washington, D.C. area. She's African-American, so that makes it even more special for us. That we can support an African-American business, a venue. And so it's Monet Go Sip. So if you're looking for a place to have a paint and sip, she does paint and sip. She does everything there. But our event is called the Art of Being a Wife Tour. DC is our kickoff city. We'll be hitting Charlotte.
Yes.
After that, and then it's just going to grow and grow. It's going to be kind of a brunch style, but you're also going to be learning as well. So we're going to have light refreshments, and we're just really excited about this because a lot of women are struggling alone. Wasn't until I wrote my book, Being a Wife Just Got Real, Things I Wish I Knew Before I Said I Do, that women reached out to me and said, hey, I'm struggling in my marriage, and I thought I was the only person. And then like Dominique said, she has people that are saying, how do I become a wife? How do I stay married? How do I not lose myself? And so I think it's just really important for us to get together and have real conversations. So we're going to be talking about self-care. We're going to be talking about sex. And we're going to be talking about how to stay engaged, how to stay committed, how to stay there. I think it's just so important. And I'll be celebrating 18 years next month. And I really had to push to stay married to an Omega man, because that in itself is a whole nother challenge. But I managed, and I just think it'll be really good to have a fresh perspective. We have almost 30 years of marriage between the two of us. So I know you will not be disappointed if you come out. Make sure you share this. It can be your girls' morning. This can be a part of your self-care.
Yes.
Self-care. Self-care isn't always just going to get a manicure, pedicure. Self-care could be just getting filled up with information that you can apply. So you'll leave that that moment with information you can apply the minute you get in your car. It's not like, okay, it's a 12-step program. No, there's some things that you can apply the minute you get in your car, the minute you get home, that night, hopefully. There are some things that, we'll be able to leave you with some just really tangible, lots of great information. It's going to be fun. You see our energy. That's the type of energy we're going to bring. So it's not going to be a sad, male bashing. We're not doing none of that. We are celebrating marriage. We're celebrating relationships, because that is the pinnacle and that is the foundation of our community, of our society. Thank you, Harriet. Thank you so much. So I think.
Oh, Harriet, that's my stepmom. Hey, Harriet. I'm like, I know that face. And ladies, listen, it's a special that we have going on until Friday. So if this is something that you think you're interested in, if you feel like, your girlfriends or family member, they need this tour and be a part of this class with us, make sure that they go ahead and register before Friday, because we have a great special going on. And of course, Tanya put the Eventbrite link up there so you can go and see more details about what we're going to be covering, what we're going to be doing. And also, aside from attending, if you find that, hey, I want to contribute to this event, I want to be a sponsor, then we welcome that as well.
Yes.
And you can contact Tanya or myself about how you can also partner with us in making this a successful event and tour for the women that will be attending.
Absolutely. The sponsors are important to us. And it's also important so that we all are working together. Oh, she said I was your dad.
Oh. Hey, Dad.
Okay, we got to watch what we say now, because your dad.
I know, right?
But definitely reach out to us if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to get your products in our swag bags.
Yeah.
We are giving away fabulous swag bags. So this is a intimate setting, so it is limited seating. It's not like 100-seat venue. We really want it to be an intimate setting where women feel comfortable sharing with other women and don't feel like you're being judged or anything like that. So I'm very excited. Thank you so much, sis, for being on here with me. This is not going to be the first time you see her. Well, I mean, it is the first time you see her with me, but it won't be the last. So we're very excited. Make sure you share out that bit.ly link. Get your tickets. I'm telling you, it's very limited seating. You want to get your tickets. Call your girlfriends up. If someone needs to go, gift them with a ticket.
Yeah.
Say, get there. It's in the Washington, D.C. area. This is our kickoff, and we'll be hitting Charlotte. And then we're adding other cities onto this tour. So we're really excited. You get to come cute in your denim and heels.
Yes.
So really comfortable. We want to have fun. It's going to be a great time, great food, and you'll leave with tangible tools that you can use.
Yes. Well, thanks so much for having me, Tanya. This was fantastic, despite the technical difficulties. We made it through.
Yes, we did. We did, because we were not going to be defeated by technology. No. So thank you all. I appreciate everybody that joined us tonight on Let's Chat with Tanya Barnett show. If you love what you saw tonight, please, please, please be on the lookout. Go to my YouTube channel, which is The Real Wife Movement. You'll be able to see Dominique and other women that have shared and poured into us these last couple of weeks. Her interview will be up shortly. And just make sure you support and share. If you know someone that needs some information, some encouragement, this is the platform for that. And also, I will be on Praise 106.1 in Baltimore on the Same channel as, who's that, Erica Campbell. And I'm very excited to be able to have my own radio show. I'm just floored by it. So I'll definitely have my sis on there. You'll be able to actually call in and ask her questions. If you need some matchmaking and some dating tips, some relationship information, you'll be able to call in and actually ask her questions. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you again for joining us tonight for our final interview tonight. Miss Dominique Clark, do you have a quote, a scripture, a song that keeps you motivated?
Yes, there's a song, and actually it's just now hitting the radios, but 3 years ago, our praise leader at my church, he wrote a song, and it's called He's Able, but he said, some of the lyrics in the song says, he's been better than good to me. So many doors he's opened, so many ways he's made, so many times he's healed me. He's been better than good to me. And so that keeps me moving. That is my inspiration, because I can't help but to be grateful and thankful, because I see all that God has done for me, the opportunities he's had. And so if he doesn't take me any further, I am satisfied. I am happy, because he didn't have to do what he's done. And so that's mine.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that inspiration. And we will chat with you later.
All right, guys. Bye. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.